for having it down for me.
Yeah, no problem. Alrighty. Welcome back to the Have You Seen a Podcast. I'm Mason Knight, joined here with Cash Krause and Michael Falk.
What up? What up?
How's it going?
It's going.
It's good. I just don't want to catch anything.
Catch anything?
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie's Hereditary.
Oh.
So you can't actually catch it.
Yeah,
That's true. You can't catch it. Yeah.
No, that's
true.
It's passed down.
Yeah.
I think you're talking about like herpes or something you didn't want to catch.
No, he's already got that.
I've already got herpes,
Okay.
so we're past that.
Can't catch it twice.
Can't catch it twice.
No.
Nope, you can. That's what I heard. So that is a good
That's
thing.
the one good thing about herpes is you can't catch it twice.
No, you cannot. No. It's there forever.
Yeah.
And that is not hereditary either, is it?
No.
I don't believe
that
it.
cannot be passed down.
So
herpes,
my future children are going to be okay.
unless you kiss them.
Yep.
I don't plan on being around, so
I'm sure you're a terrible person and a terrible father.
absolutely, yes, I was at one point.
Well, what are we talking about? We already said it a couple times.
Yeah.
Hereditary.
Yes. Your pick of the week, Cash.
My pick. Oh yeah, my
Yes, it
pick of
was.
the week, which I was very excited to pick this movie because of everything that we heard about people walking out and people dying, people throwing up when they watched this and whatnot. And,
Yeah.
and everyone was really freaking out about this movie. I was excited to see it.
Yeah.
Well, and if we know anything about A24's track record with horror films, pretty good.
Well, A24's track record with its movies in general is they're
yeah,
easily the
but-
hottest production company right now.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
They're
pretty good.
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, The Witch. Have you guys seen that?
Yeah,
It was
Witch.
good, was it not?
It's
Yeah.
The Witch, like this movie,
The Witch
is
was great.
a fucking slow burn.
It is a slow
that
burn.
whole
Yeah.
movie is like built up for like the last
For the-
5 minutes.
Yeah,
if that.
maybe not even
Yeah,
the 5
maybe
minutes.
that.
Yeah, it's more like 2. It's crazy.
But I know, and a lot of people did not like The Witch, but I liked it a lot.
I loved it,
I liked it
yes.
a lot too. It was but it did kind of remind me of this one where it's a slow burn at the start for sure.
Yeah, and the big reveals finally at the end.
Yeah.
You know?
But yeah, how'd you guys like it? When did you guys go and see this movie? Because I wanted to message you
Friday
guys.
morning?
Yeah, Friday morning.
Oh, Friday morning. That's probably when I probably saw it too. But yeah,
Michael did not want to see it at night. He specifically gave me those instructions. He said, "We are not going to see this
you
at
know
night."
what? After seeing it,
Oh, Michael.
You could have. You could have saw it at any time. Yeah.
I can't. I'm glad that we finally are able to talk about this because I cannot wrap my head around what part was so scary to make people walk out.
I knew immediately what part that made people walk out was. I guess we can just get into it. It was definitely the part where the little girl gets her head taken off.
That part.
That wasn't scary to me though. I mean,
It was more like
shocking,
it was
but
more like gut wrenching.
I was like,
Oh, yeah. Well,
I
that's
didn't expect that.
that's what
And
people don't like. They don't. I mean, that's what makes people walk out. It's
Yeah, that's
little
true.
kids being killed.
Right. Well, we actually just talked about that. Whatever that one film was at that festival where people walked out. Cannes, wasn't it? This year?
That's
Yeah.
the one you're talking. Yeah, that's the one. But it doesn't take much for
People to
Cannes
walk
out because Cannes is really just a bunch of freaking rich people. But no one but then they show like the movies too, like the press and stuff, and no one walked out in that screening at least.
Yeah.
But
Okay, so we talk about all the time on this podcast how we hate when movies give away the whole plot line in the trailer. This movie threw me for a loop in the
Yes,
trailer. I thought this was going to be something totally fucking different than what it was.
Same.
absolutely, and that's
Yeah.
that's immediately what I thought of. I'm like, man, they showed maybe like they probably showed the first 50 minutes just in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Where after that you didn't see or really got any context at all, and that's.
Yeah. No grasp on what the film was about.
Every horror film, every film in general should take notes from the trailer. Of
Yes.
Not showing any. Like, they released the Halloween trailer.
Yep.
And although I like the trailer a lot, I don't want to see another trailer for it because it already seemed like it ruined
It
some scares
told a
for
lot.
me.
Yeah.
With
True, but I mean, with
Yeah, like
that
that-
one, we kind of already know that It's Michael Myers back.
yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis already signed on, so obviously
Horny teenagers are gonna die. That's
But
just part of
But that's not the
movie.
part. I'm not talking about the details. We know the details, but we don't know the scares. Like the part where it showed him in the closet. And stuff.
Yeah, I hate it when they do
Which
that.
is-
Yeah, that was
But
a
you
big
know
part of the
what?
movie. That pissed me off. I was like, really?
And that
would have been
looked like
scary.
a great scare,
Yeah.
because the closet part is a big part. But that looked like
It did that with the basement scene, and that still freaked the hell out of me when it happened on the big screen.
Yeah, but
because-
that's the exception to the rule. You know what I mean? Because just Pennywise is a scary looking
Yeah,
dude, no
man.
matter what.
yeah, that movie was amazing. Still, I love it.
yeah, that's definitely a good one. Well, what should we talk about? What do you guys think about it?
I think that I came in too much on the hype that it was going to be like the scariest movie that I've ever seen, and it didn't scare me at all.
Really, this movie, it's not.
It's not really, to me, it wasn't really like, it is horror, but
This movie just wages
a
war
different
on
way.
all your senses in every way, and every scene is just designed to make you feel incredibly uncomfortable, and that's how I felt through the entire thing. I felt
Oh, for sure.
every
yeah.
scene was like, I can't stand this, or it's just every scene just made you just.
It's like,
kinda
when
wanna
is it going to
leave.
happen,
Yeah, exactly.
too? You know, like, what's about to happen?
It was that slow burn. I think that's what makes horror movies great, is that slow, that anticipation of what's gonna happen
Yeah.
or whatever. Because after the first 40 minutes and after this, when it started, I had no idea when she got her head taken off. I thought
I had no idea either. I was like, where is this going now?
Yeah, I thought I
thought they were going to resurrect her from the dead.
Exactly. I thought
Yeah.
she has to be coming back in
Yeah.
some way. Because she was
To, like, haunt
she
them or
was the
something.
main person in the trailer. Or whatever. You saw her like
yeah,
the
you
other day.
All
didn't
the
even
time,
know
yeah.
that guy was her brother from the trailer.
Yeah, you had no idea.
No, not exactly. Yeah, and I love that they did that, and it was it shocked me for sure. That guy did a great fucking job.
Alex Wolff?
My
Yes.
God, dude, that
Very
guy
good.
did a great, especially that car scene when he's driving her or whatever, and he
Yeah.
doesn't even want to look back or.
Yeah, I
Man.
thought
We got to talk about that scene, man. We got to talk about that. That is the most, like, realistic scene ever. When you're in pure shock.
Yeah.
Your sister, you just killed your sister basically because she had a peanut, which they did foreshadowing of the peanut allergies in the first act.
Yeah.
You know, which was obviously this whole thing was in the first act, but I like how they did that foreshadowing because then she went to the party and then had some cake that had some peanut. What was that stuff that the lady was chopping up to put in the cake though? I didn't know what that was. That wasn't peanuts, was it?
I didn't
Weed?
think-
I don't know. I don't even remember what.
Yeah, I thought it was.
But she had an
it
allergic
was-
reaction to the cake that she ate at
Yeah,
the
it must have
party.
been. It
So
must have
whatever
been
was in the
peanuts. It must
cake,
have been
she
peanuts. Yeah, for sure.
had the allergic reaction, and then out of that, you know, leaving
and,
the party.
And
was
that
just
scene, the whole
crazy.
time you're thinking, oh, she's just gonna stop breathing or whatever
Yeah.
or whatnot. You never
Not in a
expect,
million
not in
years.
a million years, you expect. And at first, you see her get hit or whatever, and I didn't know her head got taken off. I mean, I just figured she got hit because her body goes back in the
Right.
car, and it never shows it. And I thought the way that they never showed the body was just 10 times more horrifying. And then when her mom gets in the car,
It starts
But
screaming,
before that,
yeah.
when the boy finally actually stops the car, I felt like that scene lasted 10 minutes of him
Oh,
just
yeah, I know.
looking. And I swear that was like every second just felt
and
like a minute.
that's the same time where how great of job he did, where
Yeah.
he did such a great job of him just being totally, oh man. And at that scene, I was getting mad at him. I'm like, what are you doing? Look back or whatever.
Yeah,
find
see
out.
if she's okay.
But
Like, we
obviously,
didn't know.
he knew
He knew,
immediately.
yeah.
Because at some point he does look in the mirror or whatever, and it doesn't really show.
Yeah.
It just shows him looking
Yeah.
into the mirror. But as soon as he just
And
looks
in the
down.
classroom, it did that again. Like
Yeah.
he was reliving that moment.
My God, yeah.
Jesus.
I'll just tell you, this movie, it fucked me up after I saw it.
I thought about it all day at work.
Me too.
And I'm walking around, you know, in the dark. I'm like, man, this is.
Me too. And there were some
nuts.
scenes that I just couldn't get out of my head when I was, But that scene really,
Specifically, the head laying there with the flies, and it's all mashed up.
yeah.
Because that's actually what
and you
would
just
happen,
never
too,
expect
you know?
expect it to show you that or to
No, I didn't expect it at all.
and it literally it like pans onto that head for like 15 20 seconds or something, enough
just
time
see
where it just burns into your head. Yeah,
I know. I have the image perfect in my head still.
so do I.
It's-
Yeah.
And I want to get it out. I'm like, please leave.
Yeah, there was nothing. nothing happy about this film.
No, nothing at all.
But the acting was phenomenal.
Oh my God.
Toni Collette, she killed it as the mom, and even the dad did a great job.
The wailing.
Yeah.
After she found out the wailing in the room had my stomach in knots. I was like, oh my God, this is the most like disturbing thing I've ever watched.
Yeah, when she's saying, just kill me,
and you believed every second of that, man. And just her past too. All of the crazy shit that happened. Her brother was a schizophrenic who killed himself.
Yeah.
Her mother was psychotic. She like basically lived on her own. She didn't have a relationship with her mom. What happened with the father? Something happened with the father.
He starved himself.
He starved himself to death. It was just like, man, this lady has been through hell.
Well, that's what I really liked about Star is they kind of give you all that information, but the whole time you're thinking, you're kind of trying to figure out what kind of movie this is or whatever.
Yeah.
You're like, well, is it kind of like a psychological thing? What's going on? Is there something? Because you think Hereditary, and obviously I thought it was going to be
The women's side?
they're just kind of schizophrenic or whatever.
thought-
It's all being passed down, and she was just crazy or whatever. But it's not that.
No, not at all. No.
It is so much more than that. It goes deep for sure. But I don't know. It just shocked me for sure.
I really did.
And when you think you can't be shocked anymore, it continues even till the last 5 seconds I was being. But
we should talk about the director for just a minute. This is his first feature film
Yeah.
he's ever done. He's done like 5 or 6 shorts. He wrote and directed this movie.
But I heard, which is crazy. But I heard his shorts are all great.
Pretty impressive, yeah.
But they're all horror, horror driven, I think. So he's just, But after I got out of this movie, I was just thinking, man, this guy has got to have some fucking problems. The guy who directed this.
It's like a Stephen King of books, It's just, he can write just amazing.
But even
screenplays.
that though, some of the imagery that he showed in this movie, you just think, how do you come up with something like that? Because some of the stuff was just, it was horrifying. I didn't even like the scenes when it showed. For some reason, I hate miniatures and like doll houses and stuff. They just scare the shit out of me. They're just they've always scared me.
I love them. Those are my favorite because they scare me the most.
Yeah, they do. And it's
it.
just something about that. And the director obviously knows that because he kept showing. And there's some scenes where he'll do like the tilt shift with the camera where it looks like it's miniatures and you're not sure if you're looking in a dollhouse or you're looking in the actual scenes or whatever. And it just made it feel very, very odd, like we're all just looking at them in the dollhouse.
Yeah. And I love the opening scene of this movie because it was eerie as fuck. It was super slow and it pans to the dollhouse. And it just slowly zooms in.
Yeah, and
then he walks in, and then the father walks in to wake him up, and I was like, wow, that was so well shot. I really enjoyed that opening. And honestly, I'm sitting there like this, tense as hell, because I had heard nothing but, scary shit about Hereditary. And that opening scene was just really good.
And we talk about the director, but not only was this movie absolutely terrifying, but it was shot very, very well.
Yes.
Like the cinematography and everything, like you're saying about that opening, but it really set the tone for how fucking bizarre and creepy this was going to be. Yeah.
How'd you like the music? I thought the music was eerie.
It was it was all of it put together.
I downloaded it on Amazon Music just to try to listen. I got through the first song and I was like, no, I can't listen to this. I can't listen to this at work.
I would have had flashbacks.
I'm just getting creeped out.
You trying to cut yourself or what, you weirdo?
I like soundtracks and stuff, so I listen to like John Williams and whatever, just because I'm a weirdo. But
yeah, well, John Williams,
well, it's understandable, of course.
You can listen to John Williams, you can get pumped up, but this,
this was like
it was like solo, like one string, like like stuff like that, where it's like, exactly.
Oh, that.
But
every time I heard that after she died, I was just like looking around.
I know, dude. That fucking, But you got to give credit to the dad in this. The dad I mean, he's really the glue.
What? He had his shit together, too.
My God, he did for
all things considered.
Yeah, for a long goddamn time.
All the way up until he got lit on fire.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Yeah. But that whole thing he was kind of the reason. He was the whole thing kind of holding them together or whatever. And him dying at the end was, that was the last thing that they needed to get rid of before they could completely enter the home and whatnot. But, yeah.
Oh, which I leaned over to Mike. This is the only thing I said to him during this movie. But when I leaned in the first time when the friend of the grandma was introduced, I go, you know who that is, right? Aunt Lydia from Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah, and she plays that role, that kind of, and as soon as I saw her, I thought the same thing. I'm like, oh, well, she's bad. She's bad.
That's what I thought too. Immediately, like, okay,
but even though throughout it, I started to think, okay, she might be helping, because it really goes a long ways with her being helping, whatever.
Right.
And even into the seance part, I'm like, well, man, it really looks with her grandson and everything. That must have just been bullshit. I mean, that must
whole
have
thing.
It was
Yeah,
a way to get the spirits in the house.
Yeah, exactly. But for her to set that up, where like she's working with whatever his name, Panama or whatever the demon's name is.
The demon is,
she was working with him to like pretending to be her grandson or whatever, and she did that whole thing with her and her son dying and everything. It was all just bullshit.
And then she set up that little altar in her house when she kept trying to knock on her door to get in.
Yeah,
that was creepy, because that's what Charlie did in the beginning in the first act. She had that altar, and we didn't know why. She cut the bird's head off and everything.
Yeah, and I didn't know that until later, but I read that if you look, that scene is like foreshadowing the last scene, where if you look at all of her toys or whatever, they're all headless, but the bird in the middle has the crown on, and he's the only one with the head. Yeah. I know, Let's talk about how good that girl did, the little girl. Yeah, she was the creepiest fucking part of this movie. I mean,
good actress,
great actress, and like we were saying earlier, she's only in it for the first 30 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, that's it.
The first,
And this is one of her first films. Actually, this is her first film.
Yeah.
She did a short, Broadway Kids Against Bullying, but this is her first movie. And she did a great job.
She did a great fucking job of playing a possessed, scary as hell little girl. God damn. That whole house was just a house of horrors with the mom and all the doll houses, and what a weird job.
Yeah, is that even a thing anymore?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, like who was calling her
that stuff?
Well, she wasn't just like a doll. She was also like an artist, because she showed like scenes, real scenes. She just did it in miniatures, but man, that just freaked the shit out of me.
And what the hell was her problem when she reenacted her daughter's death?
Yeah, that was weird.
I know.
I was like, what?
Well, that was all of her problem. Like,
she's like, it's from a perspective. It's not from his. I'm not blaming him.
You could tell it was kind of her therapy. Was kind of making these things and making, because it kept showing the one of her mom in like hospice or whatever. Dying and whatnot. The freakiest one that's like the least freakiest thing that happened was the one that showed where it was the grandma breastfeeding, where like the mom was, because remember she said that the kid, that the mom would never let her breastfeed her kid. Yeah. And then it showed the miniature of her and them doing, oh man, that's just so fucked up. This really makes you not like your mom. Yeah. This movie. I couldn't look my mom in the eye after it.
We should talk about Annie and Peter's relationship too, which is the mom and Peter, obviously the boy. But paint thinner and that whole thing where she slept. Yeah, what was that? That was nuts. So she had like accidentally tried to kill her son, and the son never.
Of them.
Yeah, and he never forgave her for that.
My whole thing was Annie was like Toni Collette, the mom, was somehow brainwashed or in on it or whatever, and her sleepwalking was like her self-consciousness of trying to like save her kids from being possessed. Yeah. She was going to kill them. Because remember that scene where she's talking about getting the abortion.
Right. And she just blurted out, I never wanted to be your mother.
And how she was saying that her mom was the one who forced her to have the kid and whatnot. I thought that whole thing was kind of her self-conscious of her knowing what these kids are doing. Yeah. And she, like, at some parts, because there's a lot of, like, red herrings and stuff of you not knowing. Because at some parts, she makes you think she is in on it. Where she was like, I wouldn't give Peter her, but I gave you her, when she's talking about Charlie. Her second daughter. Yeah. She's like, oh, she got the hooks in really early and whatnot. So, so at some point I thought, man, is she in on it or whatever? But I don't think she was.
I don't think so. Don't think so, because she cable sawed off her head at the end. Spoiler alert. Yeah. God, that was gruesome.
That part was scary, but the part that really fucked me up was part of her body floating through the floating up to the
tree house. Yeah.
That imagery looked so fucking real
Kind of
to me.
laughed at that.
Really?
Yeah.
You're a sick
Not a
man,
fan, Michael.
You're a sick man.
We got the manly man to the right here.
Yeah.
I just went in expecting to get just horrified, and it was disturbing for sure, but I wouldn't say that I was afraid at any point. Like, I got super anxious at a couple parts, but I wasn't like totally completely frozen in fear or anything like I thought I was going to be.
Well, it's definitely a different kind of.
It is different.
It's a different kind of horror, for sure.
It's not a jump scare like so many movies we know and
No,
do.
but-
And then rely on the jump scare. There's not a single. I don't know.
Neither.
There's not a single jump scare in this movie. I don't think, was there?
I don't think so. No. Maybe when Annie ran out after she was possessed and chased her son. But that's it. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, but
that wasn't even a jump scare. It was more like, oh, there it is.
yeah,
Because we knew, because she was crawling around up on the ceiling.
Yeah, that shit was
Ooh,
crazy.
Oh,
yeah. When Peter woke up and she's up there,
Yeah.
Michael,
That's
you
the
leaned
only
over.
time I
yeah.
talked to you.
That's the only
during
time
it,
you're
yeah.
like, bro, do you see
See
that?
Because I was
like, yeah,
trying
bro,
to
I see
decide
it.
if I was freaking out and
Yeah.
seeing things or what. Because they did a really good job of like not really showing it, and then it just slowly got clearer and clearer.
there was a ton of things, especially at the start. There was a ton of moments where you're like, "Am I seeing something?"
Yeah,
because
like when Charlie was in the corner in
Or-
the dark,
or
and
that-
like it's like barely an outline.
Or that part where she first goes back in her workshop or whatever, but right when her mom dies,
Oh, yeah,
and she's
yeah.
in the corner, and it's like an outline.
Oh,
and it's like, and
Ooh,
I
that
couldn't
was
tell,
creepy.
and it was like one of those things where like you walk into a room and you see in your peripheral, like you think, but it's like a jacket
Yeah.
hanging up or something, but you think it's a person.
I do
That's
that all
what
the
it
time.
reminded me of, but it's.
I do that all the time with this fucker when the lights off and Yoda's here. I'm like, "Ugh."
Well, no shit.
I know, it's creepy. He's a green looking motherfucker with big ears. It's scary.
But that whole thing was like, that's one scenes where you're like, oh, okay, I thought I was gonna get a jump scare or
Yeah.
whatever. But it's things where it was just slowly kind of just eating away at you. Where towards the end, I just felt like I was just hanging on by a string.
And I like how they always kind of led you a different direction too, because when I saw that, like you're talking about, I was like, okay, the grandma is going to be the one haunting the family.
Yeah,
And then when it was
exactly, yeah.
Charlie, I was like, okay, it's when we saw the outline of Charlie, I was like, oh, it's Charlie that's going to haunt the family. And it didn't really end up being any of that.
No, it didn't. It's
Kind of took you for a ride a little bit.
It just took us for everything we're so used to seeing. You know?
Yes.
We're so used to seeing like the possession and whatnot and everything like that, and it just kind of flipped that around on us. But yeah, scenes like that grandma scene where she's like in the dark, that scene, man, that fucked me up.
Yeah. We should talk about the attic.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And that whole attic thing, it goes deeper for me at least, because it's like there's all these people like surrounding them, watching them, like when they went to the funeral or whatever, and that guy, when Charlie's like saying goodbye to her grandma, and the guy, she looks over and he's like waving at her, whatever.
Yeah.
And then Toni Collette, the mom, was like, all these faces, I'm so surprised people are there, whatever. It just made me think that there's just everyone is fucking in on this.
Yeah.
It's just this family. Because for them to get the body up to the attic or whatever when no one was there,
Well,
no
I'm
one noticed or
Right,
anything.
that would take
it would
quite a
take
bit.
yeah.
And the fact that the grave was vandalized and whatnot too.
Exactly, yeah.
I'm sure that if you went back and watched that funeral parlor scene and then watched the very end scene of all the people in the treehouse, it's probably a lot of the same people.
Oh yeah, for sure, without a doubt.
Oh, I think the guy for sure is
Yeah.
there. But even that's not all of them, because another scary scene that just really fucking scared me is when he's walking through and all the people are like in the back in the woods and stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
that
there's
was
just
weird.
a shit ton of people there, and they're all fucking naked and they're all old as hell.
Yeah,
too.
it was weird.
That's stuff like that. Yeah, that's stuff that really freaked me out. And that's where it made me feel that like this whole goddamn town is in on it or
Yeah.
whatever. Everyone but them. And at times you think, well, was the dad in on it? Because when he didn't tell her about her gravesite being dug up or whatever, I thought, well, why is he doing that?
That would have been a weird twist.
Yeah, but then again, it was just him. Like, again, none of them were in on it.
No.
It was just him trying to protect her, whatever.
And he's just, as you said before, he's just trying to keep the family together. And then at that final, which was some of the best acting of the film, but that final scene before he dies where he's just literally like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, and
you are crazy.
He lasted about fucking 3 days past where I would have been gone.
Oh, for sure. I would have been out. I mean, this bitch is crazy.
I know, especially when she's like,
till death do us
she's like
part.
a danger to everyone. And when she does like,
probably would have left after she freaked out at dinner. That probably would have been when I was like,
man,
you know what? I'm taking my son. I'm getting the fuck out.
That was a nuts.
That dinner scene was great.
Yeah,
again, the acting
great.
in this was so fucking strong. But that scene, and just
what I like too with that dinner scene, just to bring that up real quick, is like the level of high caliber acting. So she went from like 0 to 100 and then back down again. Whereas I think a lot of actors or actresses would hit that level and stay there the whole time, where she kind of came back. To her own. It just shows you like
it seemed
how
very
good she was.
very human and realistic to me, where she said all those things, where you could see, because somehow they do, where you can see there's, from the very start, you can see that there's tension between her and the son, even without getting into it at all. You can see that they're
right away,
that there's something with them. But then you get that obviously she did have like resentment for not getting the abortion and whatnot. But that dinner scene, and again, that the kid Alex Wolff does a great fucking job too. Just imagine your mom saying all that shit to you.
Oh my god. How do you handle that?
And the dad's just sitting there like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? He's the world's greatest dad. He didn't get what he deserved. I was upset at his death, and I was upset at the dog. The whole time I'm thinking, where
they
did
didn't
that
show the dog dying? They just showed the body.
Yeah.
It bothers me more when
it bothers
show
me that
animals getting killed.
They even showed the dog dead. It bothered me. Like, you could have just shown that the dog was gone. But again, this movie, it didn't care.
Nope. Doesn't care about it.
It was killing kids. It was killing dogs. People were sawing their heads off. It was
pretty insane. It was chaos. Yeah, absolutely.
Our pets' heads are falling off.
I don't know. This movie was very off-selling for me. I walked out of the theater a different person than when I came into it. But
How would you guys explain the ending? Because I feel like I had an understanding of the ending, but then when my brother asked me about it, Griffey, he was like, explain the ending. And I was like, well, I can't really explain it. I just thought it was kind of confusing to explain.
Well, it's like a movie we were talking about before. It was like The Witch, where The Witch had that kind of very vague ending where you kind of make your own conclusions about what you saw and whatnot. And I felt the same way with this one. Well, to me, I mean, the ending was... Well, the whole thing was, remember, she had to kill, for one, the girl had to die. Charlie had to die. Because the demon was in her.
Yes.
But he had to
needed to be in a male host.
Male host. So then he... the son jumped out the window. When he jumped out the window, you saw the little glow.
The glow.
That was the demon entering him.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And then at that point, I'm thinking, it's just all gone to shit.
No.
I mean,
but the weirdest thing about the whole thing was that, like, when Payman or whatever the god or the demon was, they also said Charlie at the end. But Charlie's head was decapitated on that throne.
Yeah, that part was, I didn't.
That was a little confusing to me. I was like, why are they saying Charlie, but also it's this demon Payman?
Because I don't think
Payman, whatever.
I don't think Charlie was ever Charlie. I think she was always that demon.
Oh,
she was never. That's
was she always that demon, or was she only that demon when the grandma passed away? Because then we saw her look at the coffin, and that's kind of where. Or grandma being dead, and that's kind of where she lost her shit.
No, I think she was like her saying that she got her hooks into her very early, and that her not being able to get Peter, it was always she babied because she was always taking care of Charlie and whatever. I think it was always that she was Charlie.
So was she the head of this cult or something? Because they had a picture of her that said Queen.
Yeah,
up there. And that was another confusing part for me. I was like, hold on, Queen. So is she like a demon too, or why is this hereditary?
She was supposed to be the mother of Payman or whatever, and that's why. Because remember, she said her son killed himself because he said that she was trying to put people in him. That's what he said.
Okay, I see.
So she was, and then it shows when they're going through the grandma stuff, like it shows a lady or shows a person on like a big mountain of coins or whatever, treasure and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that she must have been chosen or whatnot to be, she must have been high up in whatever this was. Or
okay.
Because she was the queen or whatever.
Yeah, she was a queen, so maybe she was the head.
That's what I'm thinking.
That makes sense then. That was the only thing that would confuse me. Like, I got the whole payment going into Alex and all that kind of stuff. Or not Alex. What's it? Peter in the movie. But that was the only thing that threw me off. But you explaining it to me, that makes sense.
Yeah, and again, I think you can interpret it 100 different ways, and I'm sure the director will never come out and just flatly say, "Oh, this is what it means." No, that's the best part of these movies. Exactly. Yeah, that's what I like about them too. Is that you can, and again, like I said, this movie goes so deep where you can just start wondering, who's really in on this or whatever, and you could just make your own assumptions or how long this has been going on or whatever. Because it seems like, there's a lot of people at the end. So it just seemed like it's been going on for a long, long time.
Did either one of you read anything about what the scene where Charlie walks out right before she gets killed, walks out in the field with no shoes on and sees her grandmother burning something?
I didn't read about what it was or what the meaning was. Or just interpretation.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering because I didn't.
Oh no,
that's the only
I thought you were
scene
gonna
that
tell
I'm
us.
like I don't understand. Like everything else, you kind of hints at something else that happens, a little bit, but I can't think of anything for that.
No, I'm not sure, but that's like I said, the first 45 minutes of this movie, you're not sure what kind of movie it is, but that's that's at that point where things really start unraveling.
Yeah.
Her going to the party and everything, and her mom was the one who forced her to go.
Yeah, that was weird.
God damn.
I know, and I kind of thought that was just going to be like a side scene, like he was going to get in trouble for it or something. Did not expect that sort of ending to that whatsoever.
No, I thought I thought the kid or Charlie was gonna die or whatever. Then something was gonna happen. She's gonna come back and be really weird or something. But no. People don't come back in this movie.
No, they do not. No.
When you're dead, you stay dead. I wasn't even sure.
Or you float around without a head.
I wasn't even sure if the mom was dead at the very end. I'm like, well, that's a crazy ending for that.
I know.
Yeah, how'd she get up in the attic?
Well, she was completely possessed at that point.
Yeah, she had completely lost her mind.
She floated up there. She teleported. I don't know.
Because she was banging her head on the door, and then it stopped, and then all of a sudden
that was eerie.
Yeah,
too.
we should talk about that scene, dude.
Fuck, dude. Oh. Yeah.
At that point in the movie,
I could feel
everyone in the theater was just their heart, because at that and at that point, the Alex Wolff kid, he's freaking out like I felt freaking out.
I know, and he was saying "mommy."
Yeah,
I was like, "Fuck, man!" He's going back to instincts, exactly. A childlike shit. Yeah.
And that's again what was so scary about it is the one person who's supposed to protect you and love you no matter what is the person you're
trying to kill and trying to possess you and do all sorts of messed up things too.
And even that kid, you could tell that kid always had the feeling like his mom was after him or out to get him or whatever. Man, was he fucking right.
He was.
That's the one goddamn time you should not trust your mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he kept having nightmares about her killing them and stuff.
Grabbing him,
grabbing him in the head and everything. Yeah. Yeah. This film, man.
A lot of the seance or whatever when they're doing that too, and Charlie speaking through the mom.
Well, we should talk about the first seance scene where she first goes to Joan or whatever. Her name is Joan, right?
Yep.
That scene where she's really freaking out about, because remember she feels like the wind go past her face or whatever.
Yeah.
And again, that's great acting where she was just freaking out. Now she couldn't take him, or she just had to leave and whatnot. But the second seance scene.
And then the chalkboard.
Yeah.
He's writing "I love you, Granny" or whatever.
And then again at the end when you think about, that was all just bullshit.
I know. It was just the demon, the payment demon.
Just makes it that much scarier.
Yeah.
Where you guys should watch, because you have HBO now.
I do have HBO now.
You should watch The Leftovers.
Scary?
No, but she's in it. No, it's have you ever seen The Leftovers?
No, isn't it some kind of post-apocalyptic show though? These are the people that are left.
It's one of my favorite shows of all time. It's one day 2% of the population just disappears. No one knows what's happening or whatever, and it's all based off what their lives are like after that. But Joan, that lady who's in Handmaid's Tale, she plays the leader of a cult. it's pretty much the exact same person she plays in all
She's
these.
in a lot of cults.
Yeah.
She's a busy lady.
Yeah, she is.
But you guys should watch The
I'm still
Leftovers,
just
'cause
trying to get into one. So I guess the list is long.
It's not.
Well, you don't want to be in one. You want to start one because that's where the money's at.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be in a cult.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they always have. I'm not. Obviously, cults are bad, but they're always living really shitty. Like,
Right,
like no furniture. and stuff.
Total side note. Wild Wild Country on Netflix. Watch it. It's about the
I've seen it.
Rajneesh in Oregon.
I've seen it, yeah.
Wasn't that such a good documentary?
It's amazing,
It was so
yeah.
good. It was nuts. Nuts, all that shit that happened.
I know.
And I never knew about that until I watched it. And that was just right here in Oregon in the 80s.
Yeah, and my parents who've lived here forever, they said that when they would come to the airport, those Ranishis would be there, like handing out brochures and stuff.
Oh, that's so
Because
fascinating.
they had like a building in Portland because it was in Antler.
Well, they had a hotel there. It got bombed.
Yeah, a hotel there. Yeah, and they say that. Yeah, that's. Yeah, I didn't know about it either.
And then,
crazy.
oh my God,
Those
those
Oregonian-
videos, those like the therapy sessions and
Yeah.
stuff. It got a little crazy.
The Oregonians were crazy. They hated
They
them.
hated
and
them.
at the start, they weren't doing anything wrong either.
What was that town named? Antler?
Antler.
Yeah.
It was like a town of like 30 people.
I know.
And the Rodnishi just came in and like
Just took the place over. Didn't give a
started their
shit.
own police and everything, government and everything. They were smart.
Yeah,
Man,
they were
smart. Yeah.
Yeah, they knew how to go.
It was the
by
main
the
guy
book.
just was crazy the whole time.
Osho.
Yeah, was as
Well, he took a vow of silence for many years. It was more of the girl.
Oh, she was
took care.
she was the brains of it.
Yeah,
but
she
it
was the brains of the
yeah.
operation for sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, what was her name? She was the real crazy one.
Oh man, you're killing me. I don't know.
She's the main person.
She's the main one.
She's in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It revolves around her, but she's
Good show though. Good show. On a side note, go check it out, guys.
yeah. Especially if you're from Oregon
Yeah.
and Washington, it's nuts.
I wonder. It's now, ironically enough, it's a youth minister place or whatever, a church summer camp. That's
Yeah.
what the place is used for now. Some church bought it out.
Well, the land.
So it's the same thing, just a different religion.
The land was perfect for it.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. Man, all that work they did.
Now
too.
it's just a different cult.
yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
one that's more accepted by the U.S. government.
Yeah.
Because they did,
we
man.
accept
Not
this.
everything that they did was terrible, and they kind of shit on them just because they were, Buddhists and not.
At the start.
At the start, it was
At the
good.
start, it was like they kind of put them in that corner where they had to become like these crazy people.
Yeah, they did.
Because remember the town was trying to run them out of it, and they were
Yeah.
doing nothing.
They
but,
weren't
like-
doing anything wrong. Yeah.
And all they did was they brought a ton of business to that town. Everyone was like flourishing and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They just didn't like it. I know at
But
first that's what I was
they hated
thinking.
anything different. Yeah.
I was like, there's nothing wrong with these people. The first 2 episodes, I was like, this is horseshit. And then got a little crazy. But
Yeah.
cults always get a little crazy.
Oh yeah.
You just got to give a little leeway to those guys.
There's a
That's when
breaking.
the fun shit
Well, you
happens.
gotta stop it early. That's the
Yeah.
key of stopping a
Yeah.
cult. You gotta get in there real
Way
early.
too long, it turns into mass murder.
Yeah.
Yeah, it turns into
Every single time it's
Yeah.
gonna be a Jonestown.
yikes.
Don't drink the Kool-Aid.
Never drink the Kool-Aid, kids.
Never.
They offer you it. Tell them
Speaking
get
of that,
lost.
let's just keep going off more off subject. Last
do it.
podcast on the left's coming to Portland.
Again?
Really?
Let's get tickets, boys.
We have
to get
for
tickets.
sure.
Because last time they came, which was
July.
December 2016, and I was gonna buy tickets,
Yeah.
and no one would go with me.
Oh,
At the time,
well, I
I
will.
wasn't talking to you guys.
Yeah.
And gosh, I want to go this time. We have to go.
Yeah,
It'll be
it's
so
like
much fun.
it's like $30 for a ticket, or you can get like $130 VIP ticket where you get to hang
we can
out.
hang
with
out
them.
with all 3 of them. Are all 3 of them gonna be there?
Yeah, it's last podcast. Yeah,
Well, I know, but I know Henry's pretty busy in Hollywood.
I don't think they
filming
do
shit.
Oh.
that without everyone.
I don't think so. I don't think
Oh,
they
that's
tour. I
cool.
don't think they do live shows without
Yeah.
Henry. Yeah,
Henry's fucking hilarious.
but well, yeah.
I showed Ken Dog that, and he loves that podcast.
Really?
Yeah, can you believe that? Never would have thought that old man would like it, but he does.
Yeah,
He loves it.
Because although it's funny, it is true crime.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
asked me to listen to it at work. It's so funny.
Yeah, it's a great podcast.
It is.
Yeah.
They're really good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. They've perfected the fucking podcast craft.
Yes.
We can only hope.
We can only hope to achieve that success one day.
But best learning experience would be going and seeing them firsthand.
Exactly. Yep. See how they run shit.
And I heard those live shows just get like they're all like just get super drunk up there.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
But yeah, we have to do that. We have to go to that. Shout out to Last Podcast.
Yeah.
They're not sponsoring us.
They're definitely not.
Yeah,
no. I don't know why they would.
Well, is there anything else about this movie? Any other scenes that make you sick?
No. This scene kind of made me laugh. It was kind of funny. When they're all sitting, this is right after Charlie died, which wasn't funny, but right after that, when the brother's sitting with his friends and they're all smoking weed under the stadium bleachers at the school.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was pretty funny and pretty realistic how guys actually would smoke a bowl under a stadium.
Because
they were all joking around about women and stuff.
Yeah. And then it gets
and
insane.
the girlfriends.
And then it turns to him
And he has a
having
panic
like
attack.
Episode.
It's like the first time that he like accepts what happened or whatever, because he never cries or anything
No.
until what a horrible that kid was so fucked. He was never getting out of there.
Never.
All right. I mean,
No.
even if he survived, he was gonna be fucked up.
Another question that I had that I didn't understand: why did Joan go to him at the school when he's sitting there? And
She's
like,
telling Peter to get out.
yeah. Why was she telling
Peter
him to get
out of his body. So
Oh, to get out of his body. I
Yeah.
thought she was saying get out of the house, like
No,
leave.
she
And I
was
was like,
that's what you think at first until you see her shrine and then the very end of the movie.
I think she had to do that or something, like it was some
Ritual.
preemptive
Yeah.
ritual or whatever, that she had to do it in person or something.
well, we didn't even talk about when Peter. I keep calling him Peter. That's
his
that is
name.
the character's name. Okay, Peter. He
Yeah.
hits his head on the desk. And he
Oh,
gets a
yeah.
reflection, and he's grinning.
You know-
the demon's grinning at him.
And what was great about that scene
Jesus.
is it shows that scene in the trailer, and I thought, I'm gonna know as soon as they show. But they kept showing him in the classroom, so
Yeah.
you never knew
You were
when it
waiting
was gonna
for it
happen.
the whole
Yeah, so
time.
you're waiting.
Yeah.
which was a great way of showing something, but still having that mystery behind it. Because the whole time I'm like, when is this guy gonna slam his head? And even when that scene happened, it was unbelievably.
He's got his hand like this.
Yeah, and
you know,
that-
you
yeah,
thought he
and
was
I-
having like a seizure or something, you know?
And that's the kids
Or
are
a
like,
stroke.
Yeah, I thought the girl that he hung out with at the party or something. I thought she was gonna end up like knowing something about it,
Or like
whatever.
being in the cult later.
Yeah, but really,
Yeah.
she's just
Just a girl.
as freaked out as
Yeah.
everyone. Yeah, that slam to the desk. That was fucking brutal.
So yeah, all around some really fantastic acting.
Yeah, from
this
every
crew.
There was
Yeah.
never a time where I thought, which is what you usually kind of sacrifice in horror movies, is
Yes.
is acting for sure. But
the only time that I didn't think that an actor was doing like the best is when they were doing the seance at the house and Peter was crying. There a couple of times he made some really weird noises that I've never heard anybody make in my entire life.
I thought he was just freaking out.
Yeah, he's probably like hyperventilating and crying and like.
Because that scene is a scene where I thought he did, because he was just. I just felt like I was freaking out too. Because
Yeah.
imagine your mom waking you up, rushing you downstairs, and then 5 seconds later you're doing a fucking seance trying to contact your dead sister.
I know.
That you killed.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that just freaked me out. And the dad being there and like him telling her to stop and everything just made it 10 times worse. What an idiot that mom is.
Yeah, that movie, all
She
around just super creepy. The treehouse scenes, the floating bodies. God, it was so good.
I know that, and that treehouse really, like, they kept showing that treehouse too. Like, when he would wake up and see the mom with the heaters.
Heat
in
lamps
it.
on, yeah.
Yeah, but then that one time he woke up and it was like a different, you could see it was natural light rather than you knew something was going down.
Okay, well, should we give our reviews on this, you guys?
Yeah.
Do we have anything else to talk about? Did we miss anything?
I'm sure we missed everything. But there's nothing else I can think of.
Yeah.
As far as scenes go, I
I
think.
mean, I think we've hit
think
all
we
the
hit up.
big events. We might
Yeah.
have missed a little Easter egg type thing, but I think we hit all the major scenes of everything.
I think so too. Should we review it? Should we give it?
I want to
I'm
hear.
excited to hear-
Yeah.
Oh, you wanna hear mine
I want to hear
first?
your. Well, this was your pick, right?
Yeah.
Or was this? Yeah, this was your
my
pick.
pick, yeah.
So, go ahead. Let's hear it.
Well, I was just, like I said, I came out of this movie And I don't think I've ever seen a movie where I came out of it feeling the same way I did after I saw this. I just thought everything about it was unbelievably eerie. It was a movie that I would tell people to go see, but I would also tell people not to see it, just how fucked up it is, because it's gonna mess you up. But I loved it. I thought it was everything a horror movie is supposed to be. It's not jump scares. It wasn't a slasher where there was some blood, but it wasn't, Friday the 13th style blood, machete flying everywhere. But yeah, I just thought it was unbelievably eerie and freaky. It's a movie that I will not forget in a very long time. I'm sure I'll bring it up in therapy 20 years down the road. But yeah, I loved it. Everything about it, the acting and everything. I gave it a 94.
Wow. This is weird, yeah. Okay, well, I guess I'll go because that is I'll just give me my score right away. I swear to God, that was my score, 94%.
Yeah.
So that's the same score for me, dude. And I have the exact same feeling towards this movie. It stuck with me. And it's not a movie that I just watched and forgot about. It stuck with me that day, and I still occasionally think about this movie.
Same. For 2 days after, I was thinking about it a lot. But even when we were about to go today, I was reading up about it, and again, I still got that same amount of fear.
Yeah, you got those flashes in your head again.
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie was just so well done, and I'm not a big guy to watch movies twice. You guys know that. I say that all the time, and especially not horror movies.
Oh, yeah.
This movie, when it comes out on Blu-ray, I will go and watch it again. That's how much I enjoyed this movie. I enjoyed the storyline so much. Horror films got to take note from this writer and director. This was one of the best horror films I've ever watched, honestly. I love the storyline. I love the twists and turns. It was enough to keep you... yeah, you're right. It was a slow burner. Everything about this movie just kicked ass. I was doing this sometimes, and
same.
I just felt so tense the whole film. My body would not relax. I don't know if you noticed, Michael. How many times was I shifting in my seat doing this, man? I was just like... I don't know. I just felt a big... and I love that. Those are my favorite kind of movies. I love getting scared. I love feeling tense, like something's about to attack me. This was awesome. I will recommend this film to anyone, and especially if you love horror movies, you got to go watch this movie. And it's a different type of horror, as you said before. It's not a jump scare horror where you're going to be like, whoa, But man, good storytelling, creepy ass movie.
It's not a movie that tells you when to be scary, or to be scared. So many horror movies tell you when to be scared. It's
a very good point.
With the musical cues and everything, it tells you right now you should be scared. Mm-hmm. This movie, I just felt scared the entire fucking time because I didn't know. And
sometimes in the scary parts, they had no music. Or you could just barely hear the music,
And that was just eerie enough. That silence was... because you're so used to hearing those cues or whatever, the violin or the piano drop.
You can kind of brace yourself for it,
But these, you didn't know what you were getting.
No.
Michael?
Oh, shit.
Oh, boy.
Heavy sigh. Heavy sigh. Oh,
not a good sign.
I don't... For me... I can appreciate the fact that the acting was pretty phenomenal in it. And the story was really original, which I liked. It kept me guessing the entire time until the end. But like I've been saying this whole time, I didn't get scared. And I don't know why. I don't know if I was just so hyped up that I thought it was going to be way scarier than it was. But I even talked to one of the guys that was in there too. And he felt the same way as me. He's like, I was just waiting the whole time for something to happen, and I never really... So, I don't really know how to score it. As a movie, it was really good. As something that I was supposed to be afraid of, not really good. And I don't know why I feel like that. I think it's because I did come in so anxious about seeing it, and then...
It's because you saw it during the day.
So did Mason.
That's true.
I was there.
I saw it during the day also.
I saw it during the day. Yeah.
And
it typically when we all go to the movies.
It didn't take anything from me or not,
but yeah, I mean, to me, honestly, the scariest part of this movie, and I don't know if Mason noticed, when we walked in, the only other two people that were up on top with us, the guy didn't have his shoes on. That scared me more than this movie.
I did not notice that. I'm oblivious to shit like that.
So, if I was rating this as a movie, I would give it a 90. if I was rating this as like what scares me, what horror movies are to me, I'd give it like an 80.
Okay, well, what's the score you're giving it?
90.
Okay.
I'll give it the movie score.
Well, I think we figured that one out. Well, so I guess
That's pretty high. I mean,
yeah,
that's...
it is.
Well, I mean, it's great acting and it was a cool story. So
I'm not going
to knock it for not totally making me crap my pants, but
I think this is a movie people are going to be talking about for a long... Like, they said it was...
people actually watch it.
Yeah, well, a $10 million budget, which is nothing.
Wow.
Which is
opening weekend already broke that, too.
13 million.
Yeah.
Which
and
is...
they were projecting 5 to 9,
for
too.
for an indie film and for such a small
release.
And I think word of mouth is going to be the best thing for this movie.
Absolutely.
I think people saying, because it's definitely a hard movie to describe to people. Like, if you told me, or if you asked me to tell you what the plot was, I couldn't really tell you.
That's kind of the thing when I was talking to my brother, I just couldn't really tell.
I couldn't really tell you what the plot is, because it's not, I mean, the whole thing with the demon and everything, it's kind of just a backstory. The whole thing is you just watching this family deal with them being kind of, like what the director says, it's sacrificial lambs from the lamb's point of view.
Yes.
Like, you're watching it from this sacrificial lamb's point of view, where you know this family's just has no hope.
None.
That they're going to be fucked no matter what. But yeah, 8 out of 10 on IMDb with
Is a
almost
very
10.
good score.
That's a very good score.
That's
for
a very
IMDb.
good score.
Yeah.
Because IMDb, there'll be movies in the 90s, 95s, and they'll be like a 7 or
6.7 or something like that. Yeah. Like, I think Goodfellas has like a 6.8.
Yeah, it's like terrible.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's something weird, but
I don't know how.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into that.
Well, is IMDb like actual critics, or is it people?
It's just people.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You literally
Well,
just
that
come
makes
here
more
and just
sense.
hit this, rate this.
It kind of does, but
Makes sense.
the user review is much higher than...
Usually, unless
No, the user review of this movie is
Oh.
or was much lower than the critic score, which is usually the case. But no, not this one.
Alrighty. Well, we'll wrap this up, guys. Follow us on Twitter, Seen It Podcast. Cash is on Twitter. That's just Cash. Michael's on Twitter, WhatTheFalk63. Our Instagram page is Have You Seen It? We're on YouTube. Type in HYSI, hashtag, followed by any episode that you're looking for. Also, rate and review us on iTunes. Just type in Have You Seen It? We should be the first podcast to pop up on there as well. On SoundCloud, Google Play, on basically any platforms, guys. As you all know, if you pay attention and watch our show or listen. Either or.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty. Until next time.